Hey guys, Zach here at eTrailer.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the custom fit PTC cabin air filter on our 2020 Ford F-150. So if you've ever been to one of those quick lube shops and they ask you if you're looking to replace your cabin filter, it's one of those things we never really think about, but it's super easy to do yourself, so you can save some money. Just do it in your garage or driveway. So let's throw this in and let's show you how to get this installed. The first thing we want to do is pop our glove compartment down, and then we're going to take this rubber piece here and we're going to pry up on it. Depending on your trim package, it might be a little bit different. This one is the base model, so it just has this piece, but some of the higher end ones will have another little trim piece here, and you can just take a trim panel tool and be careful though, and you can just pry it out. You can see where it has these little openings. That's where the clips would go on those other styles. But then once you get those removed, it'll expose these little bolts right here. So we'll just get those out. Now the reason you'd want to change this cabin filter is those eventually are going to kind of build up with bacteria and dust, and depending on where you live, just like pollen and all kinds of different stuff that your car is going to bring in. And then it's just causing your air conditioner to work a little bit harder and just blowing that stuff right in the cabin. So this is going to do a good job of filtering out your cabin. Same way, you know, your air filters at home or your engine air filter works. You want all that stuff to come through clean, so this is a good way to do it, and it's super easy to do. The next thing we're going to do is, if you see this arm, on the inside it has a point, and what we can do is we can slide it in through the point there, and then that just popped out. But you can see that cavity right there has a slot where you can bring this arm out. And then if this doesn't just pop out, you can just push it in like that. Get that out of the way, give you a good example. So if that just holds in place, you can just push in right there and release it. That's going to lower this all the way down. And then since we've already had that loosened up, we can reach back here and we can gently pry out. So it has some clips that are holding it in place. We don't want to really pull hard because we don't want to break those clips. So you want to be careful here because it's connected to that wire as well. So you can either set this off to the side, but try not to put any stress on that wire, or we could unplug it. Set this aside for now. And if you could take a closer look down here to this honeycomb piece right there, that's where our cabin filter is. So we can just go to each side here, pull back on that. It's just held in place with a clip. You want to be not super aggressive with it, but you do have to put a little pressure on it. You just don't want to run the risk of breaking it. Pull that off. You can see that's where our factory filter is. We'll pull this out. You can see the factory one that we have here. This truck's pretty new. It doesn't have a lot of miles on it, but you can already see the difference in that. This is the brand new one. So what we can do is we can put this new one in. Now when we put our new one in, it's important to know the direction of the airflow. It'll be marked on one end here for you. And you're just going to put that in like this, and the way this one works is it goes up, so you may have to squeeze it in to get around that outer frame, but it definitely is worth it in my opinion to just be able to change this yourself instead of spending extra money on having somebody else do it for you, especially because it doesn't take any serious tools. So we'll just put that back in place. So then we can put this cover back on, and I found that it's easiest to do the bottom first and then rotate it in, and it holds itself in place. And then we can just repeat that process in the reverse order that we took all this stuff off. Just be sure to plug this back in. Ours had a little knockout there. I would assume this is where maybe like a light would go. So it's important to get that back in place. But then once you get everything secured, you're going to have everything back to normal. And that'll do it for a look at the PTC custom cabin air filter on our 2020 Ford F-150.